So one of the things that we were talking about a minute ago before we kicked off was the value of putting out content today and podcasts today and interviewing people today. And I think that in a lot of ways, that background makes you uniquely qualified to be able to talk to people contextually, right? You have the history and the understanding and the experience to do that.
I would say this because I think when we say that, we scare off people. My goal would be to have more people do what you're doing here with me without this, like, I don't know, multi-million-dollar setup here, which is amazing. But I think that people can do this with nothing but a laptop, and I would even say not just without the track record of success, but with the track record even of failure or no track record at all. So I built that company up. It did phenomenally well. It was online greeting cards. I happened to have created an invitation site after that. The invitation site lost what seemed like a ton of money for me at the time because I hate to lose money. It was $300,000, I guess. And it failed and it closed up. And I decided I would do interviews with people to learn how to not screw up again and to learn how to do much better. And that was the premise for Mixergy. I didn't even talk about my previous company for a year or two. And when I did, people said, we didn't know anything about you. We're shocked that this existed. And why didn't you talk before? And I didn't talk before about myself because I thought this would be about how I can do better, not about how I can brag about my past. The point is that I didn't have a track record of success that allowed me to bring on these guests. I had this curiosity, this need, and I think that that's more important. I actually think that if we start out with a podcast that says, I want to show what I've done, that kind of thing is better on Instagram. It's better on YouTube. If we start out with this quest, I'm trying to do a thing and I'm going to go and talk to people who've done it, now people are interested. Much more so than, podcast about, let me learn from these people so that my audience can be smarter. Let me show my audience about. No, it's better to say, I'm on the quest to do this thing. I'm going to meet the people who've done it or who failed at doing it to learn from them. And then I'm going to share all that with the world. That, I think, is the best type of interview series. So just one example. I would much rather, instead of hearing someone who's an amazing athlete talk to other athletes and just interview them about how they did it, I would much rather have someone who says, I've never done an Ironman. I want to do my first Ironman. I'm aiming for this number, and I'm going to talk to people, both professional athletes and newbies who have done it, and see what they did and understand or hear the story about the person who forgot his goggles and what they did, so that if that happens to me, I'm prepared. As a listener, I think I would prefer that, and I know I would prefer it, and I think most people would too.